Time to get it. Oops. 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 Where we at? There we go. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Billionaire Belief Show, ladies and gentlemen, creators, wealth builders. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is your host, Dhane Diesil. And as always, it's a pleasure. Today, we're going to be talking about how to build wealth. Now, if you're similar to most wealth builders to be, then 9 times out of 10, the moment that changed your life in regards to financial education, literacy, and what got you on this path to building wealth is you read a copy of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and or a copy of Think and Grow Rich. Everybody that I speak to about building wealth, those are usually the main platforms that they come in. I mean, the main points that they usually come in at that get them started on this journey to build wealth. And so I kind of want to talk about that because I know after I finished reading my first copy of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, I was very inspired, very motivated, and couldn't wait to quote unquote get started. But it was what is that first step? How do we get the ball rolling? What do we need to do? Especially if we're starting from scratch and we basically have nothing other than just a desire to want to be better, the desire to want to be great, a desire to want to improve ourselves. And so I just wanted to first talk about why building wealth is important. Then I want to talk about what we need to do to build wealth. And then last but not least, talk about like how we can go about doing it. So why build wealth? I'm pretty sure if you're watching this video, you want something out of your life that is more than what the average individual wants. Your desire for greatness is high. You feel ambitious. You desire to want to change the world. You desire to want to create something of value that will help people in the world. You have this desire to ultimately want to be better, and you're willing to put the work in and make that happen. You just need some guidance and some direction, so you can have a better idea of where to be going, so you don't necessarily misplace your energy and effort. So why build wealth? Obviously, because once again, you want to have an abundance of resources, specifically an abundance of financial resources. Now, more than likely, you don't want this abundance of financial resources because you just want to be able to look at it. There are certain things you want to do. For example, you want to spend more time with your family, friends, and associates. You want to start a family. You have a family, but you want to make sure that you move your wife and kids into a better neighborhood. You want your kids to receive the best education they have. You want to receive the best health care your money can buy. You want to be able to take your family on trips around the world, around the country, around the state, or around your city. There's tons of reasons why you want an abundance of financial resources. And the key thing for you to do when you first get started is to acknowledge that. Acknowledge that, yes, I do want an abundance of financial resources. I do want wealth. I do want to be wealthy because of your specific reasons. And don't be afraid of your reasons. If you want to have wealth so that you can have enough money to be able to go travel around the world with your friends, then by all means, there's nothing wrong with that. If you want to have an abundance of financial resources so that you can feed the homeless or, build shelters for homeless, whatever it is that you might want, whatever your cause is, it's okay. But you just have to be okay with that cause. So identify what that cause is. That's one of the first things you need to do. Like, what do you want out of life? Why do you want this out of life? Why do you want wealth? So just take some time, really ask yourself, why do I want this? Why do I want all this money? Why do I want all these assets at the end of the day? And there's a specific reason why. And as long as you're clear on that reason why, then that's all that really matters. Because at the end of the day, nobody else is expected to understand why you want what you want. You just have to know why you want what you want. And if people are saying they don't understand why you want what you want, then that's okay, because your vision of wealth wasn't given to them, it was given to you. So identify why you want to be wealthy and really take some time to really get clear on that. Write it down, take out a piece of paper, write down the reasons why you want to be wealthy. And I'm willing to bet 9 times out of 10, it ain't just so you can have like Donald Duck money, in a sense, not Donald Duck, but Scrooge McDuck money, where you just want to be able to take skinny dips, in all your financial possessions on a day-to-day basis. No, there's a reason why. There's something that you want to do. There's something that you want to accomplish. So get clear on that. What is it that you want to do? What is it that you want to accomplish? That's going to be the first step right there. Boom, identify that why. Now, next, what do you want to do? Once again, you know why you want to be wealthy. Well, and you now technically you've identified what you want to do with the wealth. So like I said, take some time to really take into consideration, okay, I want this wealth because I do want my kids to grow up in a very good neighborhood so they can go outside and play without have to worrying about being abducted or being shot at or just a whole bunch of other things. Or, you want to be able to afford quality health care for your family or your parents. Or you, like you said, you want to be able to have a collection of or a portfolio of rental properties that affords you the luxury of not having to go to not having to go to a job 9 to 5, whatever it is, but identify what it is that you plan on doing with that money. And then last but not least, how are you gonna go about doing that? Like, that's the last step, the strategy component. Now, there are tons of vehicles that you can choose from. So you're going to have to put that work in. You're going to have to figure it out. But all in all, like I said, get clear on the why. Really, really, really get clear on why you want to build this wealth. And I'm telling you, once you get clear on the why, everything else will just seem to fall in place. But until you get clear on the why, everything's going to seem far-fetched. It's going to seem out of reach. And the more you don't know your why, but you're telling people that you do want to be wealthy, the more their naysaying beliefs are going to have an influence on you, because while you're saying, yeah, I want to be wealthy, and they're saying like, oh, you're reaching, eventually, like I said, you're going to start believing them more than yourself, because you don't know why it is you want the wealth and what you want to do with it. So get clear on why you want it and what you want to do with it. And then once you get clear on those 2 items, then we can talk about the how. But before we do that, let's go ahead and kind of take a look at just some basic steps we need to be taking, both you and me alike, in order to build wealth. I forgot where I got this picture from, but it was definitely somebody on Instagram. So if you know who it is, shouts out to you. If it's you, shouts out to you. Thanks for creating this. But all credit is due to whoever created this, because it wasn't me. But I do know that it's a great representation of what I want to talk about today. So how to build wealth. These are the 4 basic steps. Like I said, after reading Rich Dad Poor Dad, we get inspired. We get motivated, or Think and Grow Rich. We get inspired, we get motivated, but then we don't know the how. You know what I'm saying? We don't know those initial steps we need to take. So here's just kind of a simple how for you to follow. So number 1, remove your debt. This is a touchy subject for a lot of people, especially wealth builders. Now, there's 2 types of debts. You want to basically be taken into consideration. There's the kind of debt that takes money out of your pocket, and then there's the kind of debt that puts money in your pocket. So how you label your debt is up to you. But for example, the type of debt that takes money out of your pocket, those are things like your mortgage payments, car notes, credit cards, payday loans, anything like that. If you got any form of debt in that regard, store cards, gas cards, things of that nature, then yes, you want to get rid of that as soon as possible. Now, another touchy topic when it comes to debt is student loan debt. You know, what type of debt is it? Is it the kind of debt that takes money out of your pocket, or is it the kind of debt that puts money in your pocket? I'm gonna let you answer that question for yourself, because each person is different. You have, one school of thought that says my student loan debt is definitely debt that puts money in my pocket, because in a sense I was able to leverage the education that I received from incurring that debt to get the job that I have that is putting money in my pocket. And then you have another school of thought that's just like, well, no matter no matter what the debt's doing, if it ain't putting money in my pocket, then it's taking money out of my pocket. So it's not good debt to have. But like I said, I'm gonna let you go ahead and make that decision for yourself. But all in all, that first step that you want to take is to get rid of your debt. You know what I'm saying? Because the more debt that you have, it's kind of like you're robbing your future growth in a sense, because if you have all this debt but you're trying to save money to invest it, then are you really getting ahead? Because you're making minimum payments on your credit cards, for example, and the interest from that you're being charged for the credit card is more than the money that you're saving. So you kind of like are hustling backwards. So that's why some people will say like, well, at a bare minimum, get rid of all your consumer debts, things like your credit cards, payday loans, store cards, gas cards. If you got that kind of debt, get rid of that as soon as possible. That way you can start focusing on another area. But all in all, debt is definitely something you want to get rid of. And the sooner the better. Next, spending less. This one's pretty simple. It's all about, living within your means. So spending less is going to do two things for you. One is going to allow you to really get conscious of how you're spending your money, really getting clear on where the money is going. And two, is going to ultimately help you create more of a cushion, because just through life, we start buying stuff. So we start a silent killer for a lot of people's money is these subscription programs that we have, that we all sign up for. Some of us have been signed up for multiple, like me, for example. I had Apple Music, I had Spotify, and I had Tidal. I was paying 3 subscriptions. Now, on a grand scheme of things, let's just say, keep our math simple. Let's just say they were $10 a piece. So that's $30, 30 times 12, 3 times 2 is $360. Not 3 times 2, I'm sorry. 12, if we got $30, $10 per subscription, 3 subscription, that's $30 a month. $30 a month times 12. So 12 times 3, which is basically, it's 36. So yeah, $360. So $360, that was what I was paying out in subscriptions. Now, overall in the month, that's what was going out. But once again, they all, for the most part, they offer the same catalog. So trim it down to 1. So I go from spending $30 a month to only $10 a month. Times 12 is $120 a month. So $120 a month compared to $360 a month. It's well over $200 in savings over the year, of course, but that's still $200 that I can now redirect into some investments, i.e. buying some stocks. But all in all, you definitely want to get conscious of how you're spending your money, because that will allow you to really get clear on where the money goes once it does hit your bank account. And you'll then be able to get clear on, okay, do I really need this? Or have I just overloaded? And more often than not, most of us have overloaded. So if you hate getting to the end of the month and wondering, damn, what happened to all this money? What happened to all my money? I had all this money, but I don't know where it went. Like, more often than not, it went somewhere. It didn't just, disappear in your inbox. In your bank account, it definitely went somewhere, but it didn't go where you wanted it to go. Spend less. Next, earn more. This is Grant Cardone's favorite point right here. Focus on income. Focus on increasing your income. And it's true. What we focus on expands. So if we focus on, oh, I got all these bills, I don't know how I'm going to pay them, then that is ultimately what will expand. But if we focus on, I have all this value, I have so much value to give. I can help, people. I just want to do that. Then that's what's going to expand. But obviously, it speaks for itself. Earning more money is definitely going to open up new avenues for you to remove your debt, as well as to be able to invest more. So focus on increasing your earnings. If you have as Grant Cardone says, if you have whatever job you're working right now, if that's where you're at, let's say you're starting off at a job, working professional, like most people. So you're at this job, working professional. Like I said, max out that opportunity right there. So find out, if there's anything else you can do at your job to earn some extra money, outside of your regular, hours. Find out, hey, go to your boss, go to your supervisor, ask them, hey, I'm loving where I'm at right now, but I have more value to give. Are there any other opportunities that the business currently has that I can, chip my 2 cents in, or put my effort toward, so I can increase my income. Next, get some side hustles. We're living in a great time right now. With platforms like the Postmates, the Ubers, the ride sharing programs, as well as countless of other opportunities. We're in a place where we can where we can, earn more money, at our own convenience. And that's the beautiful thing about it. So for example, if you have good credit and you got a 4-door vehicle, then you can join one of the ride sharing programs. And obviously do your math though, find out what your break-even numbers are in regards to, gas and any other specific fees that are specific to your ride sharing opportunity. Obviously some maintenance costs, you're gonna have to keep the car tuned up. You're gonna have to keep the car washed. But all in all, what I'm saying, get clear on what your numbers are. Then once you know what your bottom is, then you know how much you need to earn to cover your basic expenses, as well as to be a net positive, or produce a net profit. But all in all, what I'm saying, you have to get clear, so consider doing some ride sharing, consider doing some Postmates, what I'm saying. Or if you have a specific skill, let's say, I have a friend, she can make jewelry. So, when you get back home from your job, go make some jewelry, set up a store online. I mean, at the end of the day, you can do something as simple as just set up a profile on Instagram. If you do custom jewelry, set up a profile on Instagram, start driving traffic to your Instagram page, and tell everybody that you know about it. Have them go to the Instagram page, see whatever they like, and you can even have it set up to where you can have a link right there on your IG profile that directs them to a link that you set up to where they can, say, okay, I want this product. It costs this amount of money. Here's the money. Can you send me the product? Or can I, I'm gonna see you on this day. Can you bring it with you? But there's just so much opportunities, ladies and gentlemen, for you to get some money out here. You can learn a new skill. Like I said, we are moving towards a gig economy, and the internet isn't going anywhere. And the jobs of the future are going to revolve around STEM programs: science, technology, engineering, and math. So learn some STEM skills. Learn learn a new coding language. Learn some JavaScript. Learn some PHP, and then go get some go find some people who need what you have to offer. So if you want to learn JavaScript or some coding languages, so you can build websites, for example. Now, you're building websites not for the sake of building websites. You're building a website to help a business, increase their visibility online so they can sell more goods and services. So when you're talking to these individuals, you're not telling them that you build websites. You're telling them, I help businesses like you sell more products and services, sell more goods and services through the internet. And what I will do for you, how I'm going to do that, the strategy that I'm going to use to do that is I'm going to build you a SEO friendly website on the WordPress platform that you will then be able to use to rank higher in the search engine, so that when people use certain keywords to search for what your business has to offer, the probability of your business showing up will definitely increase. But once again, when it comes to you earning more money, there's tons of opportunities out there. Like, now is the best time to be alive, because there's, like I said, the internet is the great equalizer. There's just so much things you can do. You can go on YouTube right now and take some tutorials, which is what I did, to teach you how to do a lot of things. There's if you watch Killer Mike's documentary on Netflix, Trigger Happy, he talks about a gentleman who became ultimately a handyman solely by looking at videos on YouTube. There's a lot of things you can learn how to do today, starting right now, that will put money in your pocket. But you just have to be willing to put the time in to learn it, then be willing to go test your skill out for free. And then once you get confident in your ability to produce a consistent outcome and result, then start offering it for money. It's just that simple. But once again, and I'm guilty of this too. You feel me? I'll keep it real. When I first kind of got started, I was looking for things to be easy, but nothing's easy. Nothing's going to come easy. And if it is, you don't really want it, because it ain't worth it. Everything that's worth it, comes with some bit of struggle, some bit of work, some bit of grind. So don't be afraid of struggle. Don't be afraid of the grind. But know that you do need to earn more money if you want to increase your income. If you want to build wealth. Now, here's another caveat of increasing your income. Obviously, there's a limit to the amount of expenses we can minimize, but there's no limit to the amount of income we can earn. So that's why I say, and why the people like Grant Cardone say, focus on increasing your income. Don't focus on trying to, minimize your expenses, because, you get rid of one and a whole new one comes up. So at the end of the day, but if you focus on increasing income, then you necessarily ain't never got to worry about expenses. Not to say that you go be frivolously spending, because we learned before that we need to spend less. But it's all relative, you know what I'm saying? The man or the woman who, makes $10,000 a month but only spends $5,000 is better off than the man that makes $100,000 a month but spends $101,000. It's all relative, but it's still simple. So all in all, like I said, earn more money. That's definitely a key component to your wealth building journey. And last but not least, you know what I'm saying, you done removed the debt, so now you got the money from that you were using to make these payments. You got that scratch. You went through your expenses. You tracking them now, so you've been able to eliminate and minimize some of your expenses. So now you got extra money that you was paying out, for subscriptions, for example, that you now got. Then you also added a side hustle, or you started you're getting started building the business, and that's little by little starting to trickle in. Now you've gotten to the last part, which is it's time to grow the money through investing. So investing is a pretty broad word, but realize investing means you're going to buy something and you're going to hold it for the long term. Trading something means you're going to buy it, hold it for a short-term period, and then sell it again. So trading is buy low, sell high, whereas investing is buy and hold. So trading is buy and sell. Investing is buy and hold. So when we look at a stock investor like Warren Buffett, a lot of people get confused when it comes to stocks, because it's like they're thinking trading, i.e. they see on TV or through the movies and whatnot, like, this person was able to, like, for example, there's a show right now called Billions. And, on that show, they're trading. They're not necessarily investing, because they're buying stocks or they're shorting stocks. And they really have for the most part, they have no intention of really staying in positions, for a long haul. It's kind of short-term play. So they're trading, but a lot of people think trading is investing, but it's not. Trading is buying and selling, whereas investing is buying and holding. So the individual who buys a single family home with the intent of renting it out, that's an investor. They're investing for the long haul. Someone like Warren Buffett who buys Coca-Cola stock for a long haul, he's an investor. He's not trying to buy Coca-Cola stock just so we can. He's not trying to buy Coca-Cola stock at $40 and wait for it to go up to $45 and then sell it. He's no matter what, he's holding on to that stock because he understands the business. He believes in its earning potentials for the future. He knows over time the stock's going to continue to rise in value, which means that it's also too. I think Coke is a dividend paying stock as well, which means the dividend is going to go up over time. So that's how he's making his money on the back end, is through dividends. And you can do the same thing. Now it's going to take you some time to build your investment portfolio up. Regardless if it's stocks, bonds, rental properties or businesses that you set up and, set up yourself. But all in all, you know what I'm saying? You definitely got to make sure that you do something. And that's all that really matters. So, investing, once again, there's a difference between investing, i.e. I'm going to buy something and hold it for the long haul, and trading something. I'm going to buy something today for $10 that I hope I can sell for $20, and then I'm going to make a $10 profit. So all in all, like, those are the four basic steps to building wealth. Those are the four basic activities you're going to have to be conscious of. You're going to have to conscious of removing and eliminating your debt and keeping it off. Obviously, things happen. For example, I got to a point where I had eliminated all of my credit card debt, but then, shit happens. Transmission went out and I moved. So, albeit I did have liquid cash, but I didn't necessarily want to use the liquid cash, all of my liquid cash, to pay for those two things, because there were some other investments that I was planning on making in the not so distant future. So I did put those two expenses on a credit card, and I am paying those credit cards back off now. But all in all, you know what I'm saying? I'm still conscious of removing the debt. I know some people who think that, credit cards and loans is free money, and they get it with no intention of paying it off, which is killing their credit. And that's another thing too, when it comes to removing that debt. If you want to make major purchases in this world, to where you will have to get a loan, they're going to look at your credit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm starting to hear that even employers are looking at your credit. So, pay your debts off, man. The last thing you want to do is not be able to make a move because, you got terrible credit. So in order to get your credit, and we'll do a show on credit later on down the line, but, credit is important, and it's an integral component, to your wealth building journey. But if you don't take it serious and you just kind of gloss over it, overlook it, then you're going to be ultimately shooting yourself in the foot. So how to build wealth? It's pretty simple. Like I say, after you finish reading Rich Dad Poor Dad, or hearing somebody tell you about it, or Think and Grow Rich, or any of those main entry points into this whole concept of financial education, financial literacy, financial freedom, these are the four basic things you're gonna have. This is the lifestyle. You feel me? You're gonna have to. This is the wealthy lifestyle right here. How to build wealth. It's a lifestyle where you're focused on removing debt, where you're focused on, spending less, living below your means, not above your means, not necessarily within your means, but below your means, where you're focused on earning more income, and you're focused on investing that income wisely, investing that difference wisely. And those are the basic things. So as long as you do these four things, it will put you in a position to start building wealth, so that you can eventually, maybe get to a level that a Warren Buffett is at, you know what I'm saying, sometime down the line. But all in all, know that it's not going to happen over. Success isn't going to come overnight, and it's going to take some time. It's going to take some years. Warren Buffett didn't really become the Warren Buffett that we know right now until he was well over, I think he was 55, but he had been investing ever since his 20s. So it's like 20s, 30s, 40s, 20s, 30s, 40s. So it took him 30 years to become the man that we know him as today. So how long is it going to take you? It's going to take some time, ladies and gentlemen, but don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid to put the shot up. So when it comes to building wealth, now so after you finish reading Rich Dad Poor Dad, and okay, I want financial freedom. I want, like you said, for whatever your reasons are, get clear on that. But when it comes now to the how, okay, if you got debt, you need to remove it. If you don't have no debt, great. Now you might need to look into your expenses. Are you really being efficient in your spending? You might need to start spending less so you can have more to invest wisely. And then, you want to increase your income so you can, once again, have more to invest wisely. But all in all, once again, last item, invest wisely. That's the key right there. Now, net worth is how you're going to measure, your wealth building progress, because net worth is your assets minus your liability. So the things you own that put money in your pocket, less the things that you owe that take money out of your pocket, equals your net worth. And as it says, you can use the net worth as a tangible measuring stick to find out where you stand, and as a platform for you to build wealth, going forward. So that's what it's all about. That's the main number you need to be focused on, your net worth number. That's your measuring stick right there. So whenever you're trying to kind of understand where you're at, or what your performance has been, that's how you can tell it, by tracking your net worth. So net worth equals assets minus liabilities. So assets, i.e., things that you own that put money into your pockets, minus liabilities, things that you owe that take money out of your pocket. So, for example, an asset could be, let's just say you took some time and you have I'm gonna use a simple example. So let's just say you bought an ice cream cart. So you paid $500 for an ice cream cart. Where would you put that on your net worth statement? Now, if you just buy an ice cream cart and you never do nothing with it, it becomes liability. But if you buy an ice cream cart, let's just say for $500, and now, every weekend you load it up with some ice cream and you go sell that ice cream, and every weekend, let's just say after expenses, on Saturday and Sunday, let's say over Saturday and Sunday, you make $250 a day. So $500 over the weekend, that's an asset now. That ice cream cart is an asset to you. So now you can then use said asset, the ice cream cart, to increase your income, earn more money that you can then flip back into more investments, whether it's going to be more ice cream carts or flipping it into a business to where now, you no longer have to be the one out in the field pushing the ice cream cart, because you've set up a business to where now you hire employees to run your carts for you and they make the money for you. And then boom, you know what I'm saying? Now you got a sellable asset. But it's real simple stuff, simple concepts, ladies and gentlemen, but you just have to be willing to put forth the work and to make it do what it do. So that's the basics of how to build wealth. Like I said, we want to remove any and all debt and keep it off. We want to aggressively do that. We want to spend less. We want to earn more, and we want to invest wisely. Like, those are the 4 core steps to building wealth, no matter who you are or where you're beginning. Whether you're starting off from scratch and you $50,000 in debt, whether you're starting from zero, or whether you're starting from a plus 10,000, in your net worth, it really doesn't matter. Just know that what does matter, though, is that you are adopting these habits into your life. You are removing debt, you're keeping it off, you're spending less, you're earning more, and you're investing wisely. That's really it. So to wrap things up, how to build wealth, we just talked about it. If you have any questions, I would love to help. Go ahead and leave a comment below. You can shoot me an email, billionairebelief@gmail.com. Next, I want you to make sure you follow us on Instagram @BBWCN. You can follow us on Twitter as well, @BBWCN. You can follow us on Facebook, whatever platform is your platform of choice. We're there. Facebook, like I said, is @Billionaire Belief. And last but not least, make sure you click on the link to learn more about Billionaire Belief in the description below, so you can go over and become an insider. By becoming an insider, you're going to be joining our mailing list so that you can obviously get exclusive information. I'm eventually going to start hosting start producing exclusive content that only my subscribers are going to have access to. So you want to go ahead and make sure that you subscribe now. Like I said, so if your ambition, if your goal is to build wealth, and you want to leave a legacy for your family, and you want to just better yourself, then you're at the right place. I'm going to help you. As I learn and grow, my goal is to share what I'm learning so that you can learn and grow as well. So without further ado, it's been a pleasure as usual. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to tell a friend, to tell a stranger, to tell a friend about Billionaire Belief. And like I said, until next time, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, Wealth Builder, peace.